At the time, I just wasn't ready.
Yeah.
They called me to tell me. I didn't say anything. I just listened. And that's what brought it back out of me, too, at that time. To know I wasn't the only one. And I felt guilty at that point. I felt guilty.
You see, I'm Southside reppin', Bigfoot steppin', Zone 3 section is God flow perfection. Hating on the church like I ain't blessed, they section. If we ain't talking money, I got a weak connection, that's on the hood. She said get a bag, so I get it, got it good. Don't complain about my problems, I just put it in a wood. Seen a genie the other day, she said make it good. So I wish for good health, then I wish to look at sheep, not lieutenant. Yeah, I'm back, been a minute, my hard work gets you offended. Shout out my boy academic, shoot, stay independent. You scamming it behind that twinkle in your eye. I see the scamming.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Another episode of Minnesota's #1 daily show live on Lake Street. Special guest in the building. Britty D. You said the Britty way?
The Britty way.
I like that. The Britty way. I feel like people want to call you Brittany.
I hate that. Don't call me Britty. It's Britty D or the Britty way.
But it looks like Brittany when you look at it. Britty D.
Britty D.
Britty D.
Capital D.
Capital D. Oh, okay. All right. So this is going to be an important episode. And that's why you're here, because I think you have a very important topic. You're here for a specific reason. Let's just put it that way. It's rare that I have a guest come up here that really wants to discuss something specific like this, but I think it's an important topic. And I'm glad that we could, because it affects me directly, like we've talked about off the mic. I'm connected to your industry. Mm-hmm. So I have some knowledge of this and experience with this, right? Okay, so for those that don't know, you are a barber.
Yeah.
Not a stylist, not a
Cosmetologist.
not a
I'm a
cosmetologist.
barber.
You are a barber. And I know the pitfalls. I mean, I don't know firsthand, but at least secondhand, I know the pitfalls of being a woman in the barber industry.
Right.
And so we talked off the mic, and you kind of gave me a little bit of a rundown of your experience. And I think it's important that it's said on the mic. Before we get into your story, I don't know if I want to do that. I think I need to do this. So you've already done an interview.
I have. Yes, I have.
And that interview, that person chose to not release the interview.
Yeah, he chose and we chose collectively.
Okay.
Since said person is also a barber in the industry, and what I had said may have affected him directly. And,
Okay.
So I don't fault you for that, but
I do.
it has to be heard. Like
That's a big part of the reason why you're here is because, if the interview had already come out, I don't think there would have been much sense in you coming here to tell the same story. Maybe there would have been different viewership, maybe, but regardless, I just think as a journalist, a story this important, I understand you had some say in it, but I think to not release it to protect yourself, I think you got to choose. Either you're a journalist or you're a barber. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Like I have a problem with that, but y'all can figure out who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say his name. Okay, so let's talk about it. So let's just get into when did barbering become your path?
It was when I was living in Miami, and I loved it. And in Miami, it's different. Like, there's a whole lot of female barbers, and it's just a thing. Like, everyone gets their hair cut every single week. It's a different industry there.
Yeah.
So when I came back to Minnesota, I realized I have to keep on pursuing this. So I went to Terry. I love Terry. And it was just too hard. I'm a single mom, and I had to pay out of pocket for that. That was way too hard. So I quit again and went to the 9 to 5, like making little twos and fews, and that didn't fit my lifestyle because just not me. So another opportunity opened for me. Well, I guess the school opened the opportunity for me. Mm-hmm. Night classes, which weren't already existing, but for me it was opened up.
The barber school.
Yeah, the barber school.
Okay.
To keep on my education and chasing my dream. And what was the question?
Well, I mean, the question is, when did you decide that barbering was the path for you? Because I'm always curious as.
See, it was a path for me because I didn't want to be in cosmetology because women drive me nuts. Love women, but like they drive me nuts. I don't have the time for it. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to barber school. Yeah. And that was my passion. But that's why I said, what's the question? Because I kind of, like I said, in this industry, I lose it.
So
I lose my passion.
So it is a non-traditional path for women to become barbers.
Yeah.
whatever that means. I don't necessarily like that phrasing, but typically women that get into the grooming industry are cosmetologists or stylists.
Right.
So I'm curious, like for you, why was it, instead of doing the cosmetology stylist, why did you decide barbering? What was the reason for it?
I feel like when I look at men, like you can go to a male barber and he's gonna get you together, whatever, get you at the chair, get the money. But I'm gonna get in there and say, I want you to look like how I want my man to look when he gets up the chair. I want everything to look exactly how I want my man to come home to.
Yep.
So that's just a passion for me.
Yeah.
I want men to look good. In Minnesota, no offense or anything, but there's not a lot of good looking men that keep themselves up. So I want you guys to look good. I want y'all to flourish. I want Minnesota to be like how Miami was.
Yeah.
All the men look good every single day. And I can see that.
Damn, we're
So-
we're trash over here. We look like shit.
You don't look like shit.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, yeah, you don't. But a lot of them,
Oh,
come,
okay.
you know.
I appreciate
You know
it.
how it is.
Yeah,
Minnesota's
yeah,
just
yeah.
a little bit different. than
That's true. So, okay. I mean, and that makes perfect sense to me. And that's why my barber is a woman. She also happens to be the mother of my children. But even if she wasn't, she would be my barber.
Right.
Nobody that's ever cut my hair has done a better job than her.
I've heard a lot of men say that when I have a man cut my hair, like if I have a better car or a better female or whatever, they won't do as good as they do on the next man because men hate on men. You don't even know it. They blind hate. But women, I'm never going to let a man get out of my chair.
So,
without looking
so
good.
dudes
Dudes blind
be
hate.
fucking up their cut because they hate.
I've seen it. I've seen
Wow.
men blind hate.
It
like,
makes sense.
Yeah, you don't tip nigga and get him out the chair. So you walk out looking like anything. I mean, no shade to the male barbers. I love y'all bad, but like
That's funny.
it's the truth that
I had never thought about that, but
Yeah.
that actually makes perfect sense.
But being like one of the few women, if I mess somebody up and they go outside like, yeah, some girl over on whatchamacallit, whatever, messed me up, you can track back to me. So I'm not gonna do that.
Do you think she ever purposely fucked my hair up to have me looking
Probably.
out
If you
here,
ever
out
meet
here
her.
looking fucked up?
If you ever meet her sometimes.
I'm never mean to her.
Oh, then she never had you messed up then.
All right, good. All right, good. No, she's obsessed with it. She'll look at my haircut for 3 days
Yeah,
after she
no.
does it. Like,
That's the thing. That's
is that a
why-
line?
Yeah, she's like, there's a weight line.
No, for
Come
sure.
over here. Come here.
I'm
Let
like,
me get
what are
that.
you looking at? She's like, your hair. I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, no, okay. So you started doing night school, which you said it wasn't available.
Yeah, it wasn't
initially.
available at all.
So how did it become available to you?
I was working at U.S. Bank at the time, like at teller, making
Okay.
like little money, and somebody that I was close to had FaceTimed the school owner or whatever and said, like, he kind of explained my situation, and the first thing was, I can open night classes for her. So night classes were opened, and so I got back in the industry, thinking like, naive me, 20 years old, like, okay, I'm gonna come back.
So they did it just for you.
Yeah.
And why?
Can you guess?
I mean, I can guess.
Because I'm a woman.
Yep.
Because,
And so what was your experience with that?
horrible.
Yeah.
Probably the worst.
Do
The
you,
worst year of my life.
do you want to talk about it?
It was a bad year of my life.
Mm-hmm.
It was, not at the time, it wasn't bad. And if you know me, if you followed me or whatever, you probably seem like, oh, well, it didn't look bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it didn't. I was 20 years old, 21, 22, whatever. I was young. So hearing somebody say, this is your last chance and you help me, I help you, and knowing I couldn't afford Terry at the time, knowing I couldn't afford anything else, this is my last chance to chase my passion. So I'm naive going into it. And I saw the bigger picture. I didn't think that it would affect me so bad later on in life. It wasn't brought up to me until the past maybe 3 years ago when some other things got brought up to me that it was heavy.
Essentially, you were taken advantage of.
Yeah, expecting somebody that has a higher stature of me that I'm supposed to respect and supposed to teach me, be my mentor, to take advantage of their power, kind of just, it killed it for me. It hurt me, but I was already one step in, so I don't have steps, so I had to see it through.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a choice. Like I said, I couldn't afford Terry. I couldn't afford going anywhere else.
Can we say where this happened? So people don't can't
Well-
start making their own mind up?
I mean, I think if you can assume, you can assume. If it wasn't Terry, you kind of know where it was. And Minnesota's not that big.
It wasn't Moeller.
It wasn't Molars.
Okay.
I love Molars.
That's the key. That's really what I
Yeah,
just don't.
Molars is great.
Okay.
So shout out to
Yeah.
Molars. All the locations,
Yeah.
lovely.
Okay.
Minnesota School of Barbering, don't know too much, but I'm sure they're great as well.
Okay. So then now y'all got to figure it
Yeah.
out. Y'all got to figure it out. And it's still there operating, correct?
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. And so how do you maneuver through that? Like, how do you, I mean, I know you said like at the time it wasn't as heavy as it is now, but I mean, was there any level of like discomfort or feeling like this is wrong or I'm being taken advantage of or something is wrong? Or was it just got to do what I got to do to get there?
You want to be real raw and honest?
I really do, yes.
Okay, so getting through the whole situation and getting through it, a lot of people have seen my disconnect, and I can't really explain it to a lot of people because I really haven't. But I fell deep into alcoholism
Okay.
and got through that. But therapy and alcohol were the two things that just numbed it, so I can get to where I am now to kind of feel okay.
Yeah.
And it's still not okay, but it's deep and heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like I keep on saying, because this like over the last 2 weeks is the first time I talked about it in 3 years. But yeah, that's how I got through it. Just
I can see that this is a heavy weight on you.
yeah, I just drank about it and thought about it, prayed on it.
Yeah.
Got a lot of therapy and
So what made you keep going? How did you not get how did the taste not become sour enough that you didn't want to be in the industry anymore?
other women.
Okay.
Women write me all the time and say, "Where'd you go to barber school?" I've always thought about it, and it takes everything inside of me not to say not to lie and say I went to Molars, but
Yeah.
I did. So that's not a lie. Like I went to Molars.
Yeah.
So, but it's hard because when they go there, they're gonna see you have to be 9 to 5 and whatever. So it's difficult. So that's what really kept me going.
So
other women.
so you stray other women away from this other school.
I try to.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to,
Yeah.
because I don't want anybody to feel how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love this industry. I love hair. Like I always say, people say, "What do you do for a living?" I say, "I put hair on the floor." I put hair on the floor and make niggas look good. Sorry, my
Do you suspect that this type of stuff is still happening there?
I hope not. Pray to God it's not.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm.
I know that I wasn't the last.
Probably weren't the first either.
I know I wasn't the first.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it wasn't brought back up to me until criminal charges were being pressed.
Hmm.
And
Criminal charges were being pressed on the man that owns the man that owns the barbershop.
Yeah, the situation.
Or the
kind of the
school.
same situation I'm going through.
Okay. So
But-
did you have to go to court for this? Did you have to?
I didn't, at the time, I just wasn't ready.
Yeah.
They called me to tell me. I didn't say anything. I just listened. And that's what brought it back out of me, too, at that time, to know I wasn't the only one. And I felt guilty at that point. I felt guilty that knowing that I was the first person from the first black-owned barber store in the state of Minnesota, still take that label, but that I left and then somebody else came behind me and did make it out.
Did or did not?
Did not.
Sheesh.
And had the same approach, the same offers, I guess you could say, that I had.
When you say didn't make it out, what do you mean? You can't say?
I don't know if I should say.
Don't say anything you don't want to say.
Yeah, no, she didn't make it to where I am. Let's just say that.
Okay. I'm confused by this. Did she die? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, she passed away.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
Whoa. Okay. I'm not going to ask any more questions on that one. Okay. So how long have you been in the industry as a whole?
In the industry, so I started 7 years ago. I've been licensed for 6 years as of August.
Okay. And so after finishing school and actually venturing out into the world of barbering, do you see or experience more things like this?
Yeah, between shop owners, with co-workers, with clients, it's ongoing. Like, it never stops. It never ends. And how I see it, it's like I have to think consciously every single day. What am I gonna wear so people don't sexualize me? How am I gonna talk, or how am I gonna do my? Should I just like wear sweatpants and put my hair up in a messy bun and not care about what I look like? But that's not fair because all these men come in with your hoochie daddy shorts on, fresh haircut, cologne, all smelling good. But the other barbers, I'm like, damn man, you smell good. Like, but when I come in with new perfume on, they're like, oh okay, Britty, I see you smelling good today. Who you looking cute for? Can you ask him, and him why they all look cute? They don't though. And it's the same thing with clients. Like, you'll stare me in my eyes, like right in my eyes. You wouldn't do that to a male barber. Give me the same respect. I put the same amount of hours in. I do the same work as everybody else. So focus on that, not just that I'm a woman. Give me my respect. This industry is hard for women, but it shouldn't be.
How do we change that?
Speak on it.
By having conversations
Yeah,
like this?
these are conversations that aren't had because
Yeah.
people don't know what's happening because there's not a lot of us. So, and I hate to like just put it all out here like this, but somebody has to because there's other women that want to be barbers. There are other women that want to indulge in this industry, not just doing hair, sewings, braids, whatever. There's a lot of women that want to be in a male-dominant industry. Y'all call this a women's state, but it's not. It's very misogynistic. And I hate
Who
that.
calls it that?
The world. Minnesota's a women's state.
Is
No,
it?
They say so, but it's really not. It's very misogynistic and it's hard. But I feel like we should have the same chances as the men do. Like we had a conversation.
Of course.
We had a conversation in the shop the other day, and somebody had called out. They're like, "Oh yeah, and the male bosses, and you a boss," and called out all the men. I said, "Oh, you just gonna leave me out, huh?" And he said, "No, I'm just talking to the men right now." I said, "Oh, tread lightly, because I'm the same amount of a boss as all of these men here, and I respect them, love them to death, but I'm equal to y'all. So give me the same respect. Don't count me out. Don't look at me as the female in the shop. Look at me as another coworker. You don't have to put me as one of the guys, one of the bros, none of that. You don't have to change your conversation because you know in the barbershop men have their conversations. Don't change it around me. I know the industry I came in, so don't change it for me. Just respect me.
Yeah,
Give me my respect.
I agree.
Don't make it harder for me because then I have to come in being controlling, being the aggressor, and I don't want to do that. I want to come in just, hey, good morning, not like, what's up, y'all? Like, we get into this much. No, I want to just come in girly and cute and lovey without being judged for that.
For sure. And just have that be okay.
Yeah.
Just be who you are without having to worry about it being sexualized.
I want to be Britty D unapologetically.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense to me. And you should be able to have that. So in a male-dominant industry, have you considered? We talked about it a little bit off the mic, but let's expound on it. Have you considered the idea or thought of an all women's barbershop? I feel like that's potentially really problematic as well.
Yeah. So with the women barbershop, a lot of people will think like, oh, it's like great clips or something. No, I want a whole bunch of women that can fade, line up, like really do what the men do too. But it's hard to get that because why? Barber school. It's hard for women to go to barber school. Where do you go? Like, how do you manage your life, your bills, your kids, all that with paying for school? And then the one place you can go, it's not gonna be worth it. And I don't know if other women go through it because I don't know a lot of female barbers, but it was hard for me.
Yeah.
So I'm not speaking on the whole entire, but I'm just speaking on what I know.
Well, the story that I know is obviously the mother of my children. I know her story and her path, and it does not compare to yours. But I know she's gone through shit. I mean, I think the biggest thing probably for her is like the credit.
Yeah.
Like there's no credit.
People will walk in like, oh, well, I'll just wait for him. And like,
Exactly.
oh, do you know how to braid? I'm like, no, I don't. Like, I don't know. I'm a barber. Like, I'll literally lining somebody up, and they'll ask me, do you know how to do a taper? You see somebody in my chair, like, getting their hair cut. Like, you wouldn't ask the man that. Why would you ask me that?
You're a barber in a barbershop.
Yeah. I wouldn't be here if I couldn't cut.
So do you feel like you're better than most men?
I'm not better than anybody.
Okay.
I'm just me.
Okay. All right. Let's have some fun. Top 5 barbers in Minnesota.
Top 5. Okay, that's an easy one. Of course, Fat Man.
Okay.
Love him. Tiffany. Psycho, Brandon, if he ever wants to cut again, because he's a great barber. Ooh. I'm going to say all the dudes in my shop because they give
Okay.
me so much love. We'll just give that as one.
What shop do you work at?
At Final Cut in Rosedale Mall.
Okay. And how was that experience?
It's going. It's good.
Yeah. It's going. I mean, you're happy there?
Yeah, I love the owner. Like he had me in his shop when I first graduated school, and he showed me nothing but love.
Okay.
So that's one man in the industry that I give nothing but credit to, 100%.
That's
Because
good.
he's given me nothing but protection and love and credit. So
Yeah.
that's one person that I just.
So your experience there is not, I mean, do you still experience bullshit there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I still do. Of course,
Did-
it's going to be everywhere, but
Do you have like, maybe you shouldn't answer this. Maybe I shouldn't even ask this. Do you have like do you take walk-ins or are you pretty solid with your clientele?
walk-ins and appointment-based. too.
Okay. So, okay. So when you have somebody come in on a walk-in and you take them or whatever, can you tell right off bat, like, this one's going to be a little rough?
Yeah. Like, they'll be like, man, all right. Like, they'll look around. I'm like, you going to sit down or not? Like, come on, man. Like, come on.
You ever kicked anybody out your chair?
Huh?
You ever kicked anybody out your chair?
Yeah.
Have you?
I have, yep.
For what?
Asking me too many times, too many questions. Like, are you sure you can do this? Are you sure? Well, can I see a picture? I've literally had somebody draped in my chair that asked too many questions. I just turned around and got on my phone. I said, you can get up. Like, if you don't want to be here, you're wasting my time. Somebody else will sit down. You're wasting my time, bro.
You ever kicked anybody out in the middle of a haircut?
I haven't had to do that.
No?
Not because they're disrespectful.
Yeah.
But,
Huh. So conversations like this is how we start to. What do you think the response to this is going to be? Do you think you'll get support for this interview, or do you think you're going to get pushback? Or
I'm sure that I'll get pushback.
Yeah.
I'm sure that I'll get love, too. I hope that if anybody else, women especially, that are going through it, they can reach out to me. Like, you're not the only one, but I'm just the only one to speak on it, I guess.
Yeah.
So I hope it's positive.
Yeah.
If it's not, I mean, hey, whatever. I said what I said.
Is barbering
I'm
your lifelong career? Like, is this what you want to do for the rest of your life, or do you have other?
Am I going to be
aspirations?
behind a chair?
Well, I feel like in the barber industry, even when you get into like ownership status, you're still always behind a chair at some point.
I'll be behind the chair. Maybe not cutting, but teaching, instructing.
Where at? What you trying to do?
What?
What are you trying to do?
Change the narrative.
Okay. You don't want to tell them? I guess you don't. That's
Take over. That should say enough.
yeah. You probably don't want to tell them anyways.
Yeah.
Don't tell them what you're doing. Until you do it, right? That makes sense. No. Okay. So, barber, the industry is where you want to be.
The industry, yes. If people accept me and open me with open arms like they
Yeah.
have over the last few weeks, like I've had so much love.
Yeah.
Don't let that go away.
Yeah.
Like you guys keep on influencing me like day after day to keep on coming in. I was in a rut for so long. I had an excuse after excuse not to be in the industry, but it was only because my mind. I was my own demon
Yeah.
because of what I've been through.
You
Fighting demons on myself.
You still doing therapy?
Yeah, I am.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I need a new therapist.
Yeah, you should get a therapist. Everybody deserves.
Oh no, I have one. I think she's just sick of me.
Oh, I got fired from my therapist, so she told me I was too much,
Wow.
so I got a new one.
We might have the same therapist. Possible. It's very possible. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess first of all, what I want to say is on behalf of good men that don't do bullshit like what you're talking about, that I'm sorry that you've had to go through all these trials and tribulations and trauma and shit just to do your job. Just to feed yourself and your family, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy to me that it's sort of, when I sit here and listen to stories like this, it kind of reminds me of why we're going through this, seemingly going through this big change in the world right now. where women seem to be really like taking shit back. And I don't want this to sound negative, but turning into a little bit savages like men.
And it sucks because men will always ask, like, why are women not how they used to be and so feminine? Why are you guys so aggressive?
This is
why.
why.
Do you think so?
This is why.
Because I have to.
Yeah.
Because I'm not protected by the men in my life. I'm not protected by the men around me. I'm taken down and seen as smaller, big me, little you. It's not like that. Like, I'm very open to being submissive and lovey and soft and all that, but I can't be. If you come to me as an aggressor, if you come to me as aggressive and think that you can just be above me and we have the same credentials if I don't have more, of course I'm going to come strong.
Yeah.
Of course I'm going to be like that. But
Yeah.
I don't mean to, but I have to protect me. Like, I'm tender about me. I'm tender about this industry now.
Yeah.
I'm tender about what I'm working towards. And I'm tender about the other women that want to be in this industry or are already in it that can't speak up.
Yeah. So I appreciate the reminder. That's honestly, that's what I'm taking away from this mostly is a reminder as to why we got to be better to women. I mean, even a self-proclaimed someone that's not a monster towards women, I can still do better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that. So this is a reminder to me to sit here and watch you tell your story, fearlessly tell your story.
Yeah.
It's a reminder. So I'm gonna walk away from this with something as well. We have to protect women.
Yeah.
Protect
for sure.
protect black women.
All women.
All women for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And protect women barbers.
Yeah, and go get your hair cut by women barbers because they know what looks good.
Yeah.
Dummies.
And we're understanding too. If you don't like something, I'll sit there all day with you until you make it look right, until we're perfect.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here for it. I'm here for the industry. I'm here to put hair on the floor, make you happy, make you look good.
Yeah. Who are you gonna buy a cake from? Some skinny ass little weird looking guy or some big old fat dude? I'm going to the fat. He knows what
probably the fat dude.
The fat dude knows what's good,
Probably
right?
fat dude because he tasted all of it while he was making it.
So if you are a straight man, especially not even single, don't even matter. If you want to look your best, go to the woman that she knows. Like, what are you talking about? Like, go. Sorry, guys, y'all got
at
enough.
least give me a chance. At least
Yeah.
give me a chance. That's that's all I ask for. Give me a chance.
For sure. Nah.
And don't assume that
I'm-
the person next to me or beside me or across from me or at the other shop down the street
Yeah.
is just better because they're a man. Because you don't know our credentials. You don't know if somebody just got out of school, if someone's been cutting for 15 years or whatever. You don't know it.
Yeah.
So give me a chance. Take a chance on me.
For sure. Definitely. And where can I do that at again?
At Rosedale Final Cut.
Wow. It's in the mall, right?
Yeah,
In the
right by
mall.
K Jewelers on the first floor.
Okay. So yeah, go see her. Go get the Britty way done, man. Come on now.
The pretty way.
Why not? I really appreciate you sharing your story with me and sitting here. I hope it wasn't too bad for you.
I didn't have to catch any Kleenex.
You did not. You did not. But yeah. And like I said, I'm walking away from this with lessons. I've learned. I'm gonna remember this conversation.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. And yeah, I want people to go get. Listen, if you're watching this right now, I get it. I'm partial to my barber as well. You get your barber, and that's your guy or your girl, whatever. But like, I challenge you: the next haircut you get, guys, go see a woman, preferably her.
You won't regret it.
Don't go see my baby. Get the fuck away from my baby's mom. Don't go see
Don't
her.
say that.
I'm just playing. No, she's booked. Honestly, she don't even.
She's gonna have you push back for hearing that.
She probably will, but here's the thing. Like, I ask her sometimes, like, do you want me to help you, like, promote? But she's booked. She's crazy booked. She's like, I'm full. There's nowhere to put anybody. So
Right.
I'm like, all right, well.
Shout out to her.
yeah.
I love that.
She's killing it. She's killing it. I'm not going to tell you where to go see her. I'm not going to promote for her, but because I don't want y'all in her shop talking to her about me and interviews and all that. So go see Britty.
Thank
And who else? Hold on. Can we shout out to all the other women barbers?
So Britt Buck,
Yep.
she's at Tiffany's.
Okay.
Tiffany, of course. Mia, she left. Mama Woodward, like I mentioned her, but we're not tied in like that.
That's Mama the barber, right?
Yeah, yep. She's at Final Cut too, I do believe, last time I checked.
Yeah.
In Mall of America.
Okay.
So she's really good. I'm sure I'm going to miss a whole lot of other ones. But you guys know I love you.
Get into a barbershop that has a woman in there cutting and get your hair cut this week.
Oh, and Erica. My bad. Erica. I work
Okay.
right next to her. How could I forget her?
Oh,
She's so
shit.
great.
Oh, you got her. You didn't forget her. You got her.
Yeah, Erica.
Okay, and if they want to book you, how can they book you? You got Booksy or what are you doing?
Since I'm just not coming back into it, just call me.
Okay.
Write me on Facebook.
All right. How can they find you?
Britty D.
Britty D.
UDDIN.
Okay. All right. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you sharing your story.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
That's it. I got nothing else for you. Another episode of Live on Lake Street. I'm Jake Faircloth. Follow me everywhere at Jake Faircloth1.
Damn, Woody. In high school, I let it blam, Woody. I wasn't playing, Woody. I'm coming straight out the south. Hey, genius, best watch your mouth. When I put up on P&B right, then ain't he come out. You moving ounces, I just moved 100 things in a drought. You want the south side, outside the fence of your house. You talking all that, then wanna come talk it out. If you ain't talking money, you talking about. I gives a what you do. I'm about mine. I just look at the watch, said it's about time. She in love with my status, said if you don't mind, what are you the chief of? I said the south side.